This week on the Digital Coffee, Twitter goes long form. Meta wants to crack down on those fake reviews, and also on Meta, you can buy clothing, branded clothing for your avatar. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for business. My name is Amanda Webb. If you don't know me already, I am an ROI mentor. What does that mean? I am a return on investment mentor, which means I can help you grow your business with your digital marketing. It means that you can spend less time and less money to get better results. And that's enough about me. Let's hear about you. I have got a question of the week. I'd love to know, do you still look at who has viewed your Instagram stories? Do you? Because I do. And also, I'd love to know what's in your mug. What are you drinking alongside me today? I am desperate for my cup of coffee today. As you know, I'm not allowed coffee until after the show, and I am desperate. I have had a nice big cup of tea though. I am slightly caffeinated. I can see that we've got Lee here, who is, good morning, Lee. Great to see you. Coffee and overnight oats. Ooh, sounds very healthy. I envy the coffee. And yes, you do have a look to see who's viewed your Instagram stories. I'd love to know. Obviously, that is tying into one of our news stories a day. Big shout to anyone who's watching on LinkedIn. Do let me know if you're watching on LinkedIn. I'm a little bit bright today because I changed my camera settings and then switched on a light. So apologies for that. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Do say hello if you're watching on YouTube. Good morning to Melanie, who is, the coffee is boiling now. You're all just making me so jealous. Good morning to James. Empty cup. Yeah, that's what my cup is. It's so sad. And it's, very fancy green tea from making. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I can hardly see it with my bad eyesight. So good. I want to know, do you still look to see who has been viewing your Instagram stories? And you'll find out why I'm asking that question shortly.
Louise Brogan, host of LinkedIn with Louise, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
One of the biggest selling points of Twitter, I've always thought, is its short, snappy updates. It's really easy to consume fast. You know, you can scroll through, you can see the tweets, you can scroll past ones you're not interested in. You know, when it changed from 140 characters to 280 characters, I wasn't a fan. I was like, this is going to be a disaster. This is their unique selling point. But actually, I was wrong. It worked out. I like the 280 characters. But now it's gone super long form. Luckily not in the feed. That's the first thing I'm going to say. In the feed, you're still going to see your short, snappy updates. But we know that people have been using Twitter threads for a while to share longer updates. I kind of enjoy consuming content like that, you know, because I can see the start of the thread and know whether I want to continue watching. It's very versatile. You can have lots of different content types in that thread. But soon you won't have to do that. In fact, if you're in the test group, you don't have to do that now. You will be able to write full-length blog posts directly on Twitter and link to them within Twitter. Now for Twitter, this is great, right? Because they don't want you linking to your LinkedIn post, your long LinkedIn article you've written, or worse, they don't want you linking to an article on your website. They want you to stay on platform. And it looks very similar to the LinkedIn interface because as you can see, you will be able to, I feel like that looks like my email, but I'm trusting I'm sharing the right thing. You will be able to add a headline, you'll be able to add a banner at the top, you'll be able to add images and videos and everything you could do within a thread, everything you can do within Twitter, within that blogging interface. And then, of course, give it a shout out in the feed. I like this update. I can't remember how many years people have been saying blogging is dead, but you know what? It totally isn't. People still like to read stuff on the internet, and this is going to be a very fast and seamless way for you to build your brand to your existing followers on Twitter, the same way that you could on LinkedIn. Of course, the downside is you're not sending them to your website, and then the upside from that is you don't need to worry about SEO. We'll see about that. Just one thing. Facebook took notes away recently, which was their version of this. So I would make sure that you've got a copy of your Twitter articles somewhere else so that you can republish it on a different platform if after a little while they decide this isn't a thing anymore. Making is hello. Okay, you're just talking to each other, but I'm going to put your comments on the screen anyway. Hello, James. Hello, Making. Here we go. I'm a fan of checking Insta story watches. Enjoy working out the percentage that watch all the way through. Normally just my mum who watches the whole set of stories. You know what? I've got a whole talk that I do on the fact that your mum is the only person that reads your blog. That's always really interesting. And yes, there is some nice calculations that you can make that way. And we will come to that when I talk about the story that's involved. As you've noticed, I've got some new videos this week, and this is just a reminder. If you want to send me in a video of you saying who you are and that you are watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb, send it on. It does have to be horizontal. I can't take vertical videos, but if you want to send one on to me, you could be a trailer on, or you could be one of these clips on the show.
Hello, this is Simon Hodgkins, and you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, Facebook reviews and ratings. They've got their upsides and they've got their downsides. The upsides, of course, is it's a great place for customers to talk about how friggin' fantastic you are. The downside is fake reviews. So somebody can get a bee in their bonnet, leave a review, get all their friends to leave a negative review. I mean, it's not just Facebook, that's the world. Facebook, or should I say Meta, are looking to crack down on fake reviews, and they've introduced a new community feedback policy in the United States. And I'm not sure why it's just the United States, but that's the world. And within this policy, they do say things. They say things like, you as a business are not allowed to incentivize reviews. So you're not allowed to say, I'm going to give you a voucher, I'm going to send you this, I'm going to whatever. You're not allowed to incentivize people to leave reviews. You can simply just say, leave me a review. That's okay. But as soon as there's an exchange, you're giving them something in return for that, you're not allowed to do that. So that's for you, for a business owner. Now onto the important piece, which is people leaving reviews or recommendations for your business. So, firstly, reviews must be based on direct experience of the product or service. So you can't just go in and go, my mate bought this and it didn't work properly. It has to be about your direct experience. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find a way to have a verified buyer piece coming like we might see on Amazon, on Trustpilot, on things like that. But, they do want you to have direct experience. You see these looks I'm giving you? I realised today that I don't give Facebook as much leeway as I give LinkedIn, but we'll talk about that later. Secondly, it must not be used to misrepresent, deceive, defraud, or exploit others for financial or personal benefit. It can't be spammy. So all of that sounds good, covers all the bases, all the things that you don't want people to do in the reviews, lie about you, be false, be fake, all of that. But it's just a policy. How are they going to monitor this? How are they going to crack down on it? They don't say. I mean, if you want to report a review, how many reports is it going to take before their robots take a look at it and decide whether it is inflammatory or deflammatory or whether it is doing something odd? I'm sorry. I don't have much faith in that happening. It's just a policy. It's just in the United States. Finally, there is one other thing that it won't let you do. I'm trying to find what it is. And I can't find what it is. It's not. I've realised it's in the TikTok story later on. I tell you, I really need coffee this morning. So that is my big thing. Don't trust them to implement it. Sounds good. We need to sort out fake reviews. I've seen them. I mean, the only alternative you have when you get fake reviews, or I think they're called recommendations now, is to switch that off. And that's a shame if you've got loads of good reviews, isn't it? Isn't it? There. So Lee, I'm just going through that. And firstly, Lee says she's going to do a new video when she's in Dublin. We'll get you a proper mug so you'll be able to do it, Lee. Great stuff. That is for the clips in my trailer. If you wish to do one, just send one on to me. You'll be seeing some more pop up soon. Melanie says it's normally her mum that watches every single story too. And Deirdre says, good morning. Currently having fun with YouTube viewers. The address one doesn't let documents yet. It's coming soon. You'll have to tell me what that is. I don't know what that means. James says, Meta announces it will apply common sense to reviews. Like you say, what will those actions be? Indeed, indeed. YouTube app. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to move on. We've got another new trailer. Who could this be? This is someone I met in social media. I shot this in March. Here it is.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Jeremiah J-Man Monero with J-Man Speaks from New York, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Make it a great day.
Wow, he speaks fast, doesn't he? It's J-Man Speaks. Okay. The EU is forcing TikTok to make its place a lot safer for advertisers, because when you're on TikTok, it's really hard to see what's an ad. Part of that is because TikTok have done a really good job in saying this is what an ad should be like. So a lot of people are working with creators to make sure that their ads look TikTok-y. So they slide in. I mean, as soon as you see something that isn't TikTok-y, you just go straight past it. But it's not always obvious it's an ad. Well, it is now, because the EU is forcing TikTok to make sure we can see it. So firstly, it is saying you are going to have to, and they've agreed to this, by the way, it's not just the EU. Firstly, you're going to have a label, a specific label on an ad. It's going to be a lot more obvious that it is an ad when you see it. Secondly, creators on the platform, influencers on the platform are going to be prompted to add the branded content tool, which be a bit like Facebook saying it's in collaboration with something, when they add a hashtag ad or spawn or sponsored or one of the hashtags that will trigger that. Thirdly, and this is one I thought was happening on Facebook, but in fact is happening on TikTok, they are banning the promotion, and I don't know if that means ads or organic, but they're banning the promotion of dangerous items such as cigarettes. Do people still smoke? Cigarettes, alcohol, and get rich quick schemes. I mean, this is all good, right? It's all good. I always love to see as well that TikTok are so willing to take on this. When I say EU has forced them, they've been in talks with TikTok. They have agreed to this. And I'm loving seeing that TikTok are actually, willing to take on board all this stuff. So good news all around, I think. A bit of a bummer for any influencers who haven't been declaring properly. You're going to have to declare properly in the future. So good morning to Mark. I could do a cuppa segue for you. Yes, please do a segue for me, Mark. I'd love to have you in my segment, and I know you can do a video really well. If you don't know Mark from Pocket Video School, you should check him out. Melanie says, I've had 2 recent reviews added to my Facebook profile that have nothing to do with my business. But as you say, there's no point hiding all my reviews because of those 2, which is frustrating. I never switched reviews on my Facebook page. There's the thing. I'm sure Kate said good morning already. Did you? I don't know. But good morning, Kate. I am assuming you are drinking a nice cup of tea. Hope so. Got another new trailer coming up, and hopefully, you can tell I need my coffee today, can't you? I am confused.com.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi.
Now, this may seem odd to you, but the kids, and by the kids, I probably mean Generation Z, and they're probably quite old by now, but the kids spend a lot of money on buying clothes for their avatars in the metaverse. I've just realised that all those words I've just said would have meant nothing to me when I was a kid. They buy clothing for their characters that they have in the virtual reality worlds that they inhabit, like Roblox, like all the others that you can do. We're not just talking meta here. And you could buy probably from these for your meta characters that you're using within the virtual reality world, within Oculus or whatever it's called. I should know really, because I have one. It seems mad, doesn't it? But now something even madder has happened. You are now going to be able to buy clothing for your 2D avatars. Yeah, those ones on Facebook that you design to look a little bit like you, but they always look like, not like you at all. Now you're going to be able to buy branded clothing from the avatar store on Facebook to dress those characters in. Now at first you go, this is absolutely insane. But actually it's not when you think about it, because when I was a little girl, I used to dress up my dollies. I used to dress up my Cindy dolls. I used to dress up my big dollies. I used to love those books where you get the cutouts and you get to put clothes on them. My granny made me this massive box full of fantastic clothes that I could change my dolls into at any time that I wanted to. And those dolls didn't even really represent me. I loved that. So all this is kids doing the same with their versions of themselves that they put into the metaverse. I think this is something that's really interesting. For now, it's only for brands. But what will you be able to sell in the future? If you're an upcoming designer, you'll be able to design clothes for people in the metaverse. And what's even better? You won't need to worry if the clothes fit you, because you can change your avatar so that they do. I'm very ranty, aren't I, today? I am excited about this. I'm excited about the potential that the metaverse has. The only downside of the metaverse is you have to wear these big, horrible, heavy, goggles to go there. Once they fix that solution, I really think this is going to take off. And I can see myself sitting around in my pajamas wearing smart business clothes for meetings in the future. I'd love to know what you think. Do you think I'm just a weirdo? Am I? I probably shouldn't ask that question, should I?
I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
From the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
And you're watching the Digital Coffee
with Amanda Webb.
Twitter shopping is still only available in the United States, which is sad, really. But something new has happened this week, which means it could be expanding soon outside the United States. Now, that's just me guessing, but they've just added an integration with Shopify that really is a game changer. Now, I had the feeling that you could integrate with Shopify before, but what this does is you're going to be able to auto sync your catalog from Shopify into your Twitter store. So that means when something goes out of stock on your website, it will tell Twitter, so it will no longer display it in your Twitter store. When you add new things to your website, it will tell Twitter, so you don't have to update them separately, which is great. Shopify is amazing, isn't it? It's like one of those tools alongside Canva that really has changed the world. It's changed the world of e-commerce in their case. It's such a simple, user-friendly tool that does basically everything. And it's no coincidence that this is the tool that the social networks seem to prefer to integrate first. There are so many Shopify users globally that will be able to sync their catalog with Twitter, that it could really be a way to make Twitter shops take off. Which brings me to the question, why is it still only in the United States? Is it because there's not a big uptake? Is it because they're still testing it? I do feel that this integration with Shopify just makes it so accessible for so many people that we will soon see it rolled out to other regions.
Hello, this is Nicole from Wonderstars and you are watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
How do you make money if you are a social network? I mean, what they've all done for years is they've grabbed advertising, haven't they? That's what they've done. They've gone, this is the way publishers make money, is by selling ads. And we've had some pretty cool ways that we can serve ads to people on the social networks. But that can't be it. There has to be other income streams, revenue streams, because there's only so many ads we can take. There's only so long that that ads bubble is going to last. And one thing that social networks seem to be looking at is a subscription service. We've seen this on Twitter. We've seen this with Twitter Blue, which is a subscription service not available in Ireland, but I think it is in the UK, where you can actually sign up, pay money, and you get additional Twitter features for that fee. Now it looks like Snapchat are going to do something similar. They are working on a subscription service where you will be able to subscribe either monthly or for a year, and for that you will get access to new features first. Which kind of sounds a little bit enticing, but it costs €4.59 per month. $4.59. Now that to me seems like a lot of money to get beta testers for your new features. I do think they priced it a little bit high. On the other hand, I mentioned last week, younger people are still using Snapchat, and maybe if it involved different lenses and different AR effects, they would totally go for that. I mean, it's the sort of thing that they really enjoy doing. At any family gathering, the younger people in our family go round with whatever Snapchat lens is most popular right now and make all the adults look at it. So it's great fun. Will they subscribe? I wouldn't, but maybe they will.
Hi, Sasha Lydia from Think Outside the Bot, and you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
I was asking you, do you look to see who has been viewing your Instagram story? Because I do because, I don't use Instagram that much. There's not many people to look at. I can quite easily identify who is looking at my story. If you've got a larger account, that could prove difficult to find those people, but it's all good. Wouldn't it be nice if you could do that on TikTok? Well, soon you will be able to. TikTok is working on a new feature where you will be able to opt in to people seeing that you have viewed their posts. It's reciprocal. So you'll only be able to see if people have been viewing your posts if you allow other people to see you have viewed their posts. And what I like about this, and what I like about it on Instagram, is that I'm able to see, am I reaching the right people with my content? On Instagram, am I just reaching my competitors and people in other lands that I don't work with? Or am I actually reaching a portion of my audience that I know are potential customers? It's a really good way to measure whether using that social network is of benefit to you. Of course, you're not going to be able to see everyone, but the sample that you will be able to see is going to be good news. And the other way round, as long as you're not looking at someone with a huge account, you'll be able to go and view videos from people you might want to work with, potential customers, and just to get on their radar. Of course, you can like and comment as well, but if they see that you're looking at their TikToks, it's another way for you to solidify that relationship. So I think this is good news. I love, by the way, you notice how I'm saying all good things about TikTok these days, and I used to hate them, and that's because I've started using TikTok. I love that they've taken into account the privacy of this, that you do have that option to switch it off. So people won't necessarily be able to see that information from you. I think that's big, particularly from a company that has, a poor early record on privacy. I think Meta could learn a lot from them. Big hello to Eileen, and great to see you on the show. Eileen is a regular on my Twitter Spaces. I'm so glad you're here because I forgot to say about the Twitter Space at 10:30 a.m. Irish time. So I know Eileen's in a different time zone. So it's about an hour. It's about half an hour, from when this show finishes. I run a Twitter space with May King Sang where we talk about these stories in more detail. And you are welcome to come along. You can listen if you are on desktop. If you go to twitter.com/spiderworking, spiderworking is me, you'll see a a post pinned to my profile. If you click on that, you'll be able to join. If you're on mobile, you can actually join in like Eileen often does and have your say about the stories this week. So do come along to that. It starts at 10:30 a.m. We're around 30 or 40 minutes. We try and keep it short and snappy, but I'd love to know what you have to say about these stories, particularly as because I haven't had enough caffeine this morning. I feel like I haven't been that excitable about these stories. Just a couple more comments coming in from Kate. This is about checking your Instagram stories. I check the numbers, but not the actual people. That's probably because you have quite a big account, Kate. I imagine you get quite a lot of people looking at your stories. So I'm guessing that. Do go and check Pet Sitters Island out on Instagram, which is where you'll find Kate's account. Good morning to Katie. Thank you for making it to the show. Lovely to see you here. Okay, I'm definitely going to go and get that cup of coffee now before I do anything else. I tell you, I am a desperate lady. I will see you all at 10:30 a.m. If you can't make it on the Twitter space, I will see you same bat time, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.